Let's get started with my, I guess, number 4 um, daily dose in my very first podcast. And I'm probably going to spend the majority of the time talking about this whole Jake Paul controversy. Now, see, let's start with this. I didn't know a whole lot about Jake Paul. Still don't know a whole lot about him other than he's done some boxing. I've watched 2 of his fights, and that's it. Watched the Tyson fight and the Anthony Joshua fight. I don't really have a whole lot of commentary. I'm not gonna try to be some armchair quarterback on his boxing technique or anything like that. Don't really have a whole lot to add to that situation. I mean, my stance is obviously him and both of those fighters mentioned Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua. They obviously made money on it, so good for them. It's entrepreneurship, sports, whatever. Um, Mine is on the whole halftime controversy shit, where he originally stated to basically turn off the halftime show. It says his tweet says, purposefully turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences. I agree. I agree. And you'll find this on the Daily Beast. Of all places, the Daily Beast. I'm sure a lot of this is twisted anyway. AOC slams mega star over fake American Bad Bunny post. So I guess he's MAGA. Therefore, the bimbo bartender's going to jump out there and beat her fucking chest a little bit. Give me a break. Um, is this Jake Paul's Bud Light moment? And I call it a Bud Light moment mostly because of shit like, y'all remember the Dylan Mulvaney shit? How many people was out there shooting Bud Light cans, yada yada yada. We're gonna boycott Bud Light, you know. But how many of them still buy Bud Light? Like they boycotted for like a day, and then, or they said, I quit drinking Bud Light and I started drinking, Michelob Ultra. Well, still Anheuser Busch, dumbass. You didn't boycott anything. You literally funded this same corporation. Um, they they he called him a fake American because of his anti-ICE stuff and his anti-American comments and stuff like that. That's you're a fake. He uses his platform to publicly demonize America. I believe Jake Paul should have stood on that 100%. He should have never backed down. He should have never gave an inch. But now all you see, and I've read like 4 articles where it's like he backed down. He didn't do this. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm with him. When they started kneeling in the NFL, I started boycotting. I haven't watched a football game of the NFL since, and I'll catch some shit for this. I used to be a Denver Broncos fan, huge Denver Broncos fan. Hoodies, hats, shirts. Didn't care about the quarterback. Didn't care about the running back. Did not give 2 shits. You know, I'll stand here and say one of my all-time favorite running backs, Eddie George. He was a Titan. Don't know where he went after that, but whatever. Uh, Terrell Davis. I mean, but I was a Broncos fan. I like horses. Denver Broncos. I cared about the logo. There's my honesty. Had really nothing to do with the team whatsoever other than their logo. I was a Broncos fan. Um, but, and I stayed a loyal Broncos fan until they started, the entire NFL was okay with them kneeling. No, I started boycotting. Just like Bud Light. I started boycotting Anheuser-Busch long before the whole Dylan Mulvaney controversy. Way I stand on that is, they want to hire these spokespeople, and a lot of the people at that point in time when they were doing it was people like Amy Schumer, and she's a big donor to anti-2A groups. Well, okay, Anheuser-Busch, you're going to give her money to be a spokesperson, then she's going to turn around and give her money to anti-Second Amendment agendas. So, yeah, I'm not giving you my money. And I started drinking Yingling. I spent a short time with Coors until they come out with the whole rainbow bottle. They put a rainbow logo on their bottle, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this." And then I went, well, of course, then I went to Yingling and Rolling Rock, and I haven't seen them do any of the woke bullshit. Don't know their politics. Don't care about their politics. And it happens to be the oldest brewer in America, so pretty good beer. Um, I stood on my principles. I even have friends that was right after the Dylan Mulvaney shit. They're like, "Oh, I'm never drinking again." Come to, go to their house and shit, and they're like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And it's like, "Oh, I might drink one." And they pull out a Bud Light, and it's, no, you don't want to drink a beer. It's got the wrong label on it, sir. I'm not drinking that shit. Well, you didn't have to pay for it, but I'm not drinking it. I'm standing on my principles. I'm standing on what I believe in. I don't care if I paid for it or not. I said I won't drink the shit no more, and I won't drink the shit no more. Free. You couldn't give me Bud Light. If it was the last beer on earth, I'm not drinking it. I guess I just quit drinking. Stupid. It's stupid. But in this instance, you take someone like this Jake Paul. I guess he's MAGA. Well, that's why AOC's got something to say. She got famous and got into Congress, from bartender to Congress, because of her anti-Trump rhetoric. And Jake Paul said something against a Latino. Of course, she's got to come out there and pander and beat her fucking chest to it. I can't believe he would actually back down, because they knew what he meant. He didn't. It had nothing to do with racism, and that's all they do is they put these headlines up about, oh, he said racist comments. He wasn't being a racist. He was being honest. Like, okay, he obviously loves America. Well, he lives in Puerto Rico. Okay, he's doing it to avoid taxes. Well, your fucking congresswoman that jumps on there, do you think she's paying a bunch of taxes? Or is she just going out here doing what every other rich politician does, getting lobbyist money, hiding that fucking shit and cleaning it somewhere and putting it into her bank account scot free, tax free? I mean, give me a break. Like, okay, he lives in Puerto Rico. Good for him. He has a $16 million mansion. Well, good for him. He's made it to the big times. He's got 4.4 million followers. How many do you think actually left because racist comments? He wasn't being racist. He was being 100% honest. Look, you bash on America, you're fake. You're fake, motherfucker. You're fake. And it ain't got shit to do with where you live. You've got a big ass voice and you say anti American shit. You're fake. You're fake. I read that and I was like, man, I agree with this guy. Don't know much about him. And at that point in time, had no idea about his politics. I had nothing. Um, I had no clue really, other than a couple of his fights, and I had no clue up until, like, I don't know, probably a year ago, who the hell he was. My son was the one telling me about this YouTuber that had turned boxer. Cool, you know, and he was, you know, boxing this person and that person, and my son always wanted my input on it. I was like, dude, I don't know. Why is he calling out MMA fighters? That's, they're not boxers. They're MMA fighters. They're not, whatever. But if he's, maybe he's He's building his way up. Well, he fought he fought a basketball player or something. Okay, cool. Well, that basketball player obviously said, "Yeah, I'll throw dick beaters with you." Good for him. You know, maybe he's passionate about boxing and loves it. I'm not going to downgrade him for it. You know, if he's MAGA, cool, great. He's conservative. My biggest issue with this right here is, why'd you back down? You knew you weren't being racist. What, because AOC and a handful of fucking Karens on X? And he keeps, like, each one is, and you watch him back up a little bit further, and they even throwed his brother into the mix. I don't understand it. No, your original post is what you meant. Why'd you back down from it? That's why I'm calling it his Bud Light moment. Is this your Bud Light moment? Like all these guys that were fake mad at Bud Light, yet you see him today drinking Bud Light. You know, oh, Kid Rock goes out here and shoots a stack of Bud Light 30 packs, and he's like, oh yeah, he just virtue signaled. That's all he did. Because then you turn around and see him at a concert with a Bud Light tall boy in his hand. I mean, you're real mad. You're real mad. Well, that's all they serve. Yeah, well, who gives a shit? Don't drink at it. I mean, if you really feel that strongly about it, you'll figure a way around that shit. You know, like I said, I figured my way around it. I found a brand I like. Happens to be the oldest brewer in America. I drink Yingling or I drink Rolling Rock. I support locally brewed. They're one state away. I am from Appalachia. I'm middle class, dirt under the fingernails, heavy equipment operator. Well, I should say used to be until I got laid off recently. You know, I make these videos just for fun to get out there. I'd like to build a base and grow big, but hey, we're going to see how it goes. Uh, because in my opinion, he should have never backed down. He should have doubled down, actually. I mean, he felt like at that point in time, hey, turn it off. Exactly. I agree. Turn it off. I turned the shit off a long time ago and ain't turned it back on. Sure, my couple of dollars don't matter, but when everybody does it, I mean, seriously. So you're going to let Ocasio Cortez like run her mouth about your taxes, and then you're just going to keep backing down and backing down and backing down? What else are you going to back down on? They're going to find some other post to cause you to back down on. And out of 4.4 million followers, how many do you think are actually going to stay gone? How many do you think are going to stay gone until you announce your next fight, or you put up something new, or you change your hair or something? People's going to get on there whether to criticize or not. They're going to follow you again just because they want to see and run their mouth, or they want to see and they're nosy. They're like a fucking nosy neighbor. They're going to come back. The day ever comes I have 4.4 million followers and 100,000 of them don't like my stance, who gives a shit? It's my stance. You liked my stance on everything else, but that one, just because of a bunch of woke Karens or some dumbass in Congress, you know, who gives a shit? They'll come back. I mean, because honestly, if you think about it, it's like he keeps, they keep saying that he's backpedaling, and it's like, okay, he doesn't mean it. You want my opinion? He doesn't mean it. If he meant what he said, he clarified that, okay, he uses his platform for anti-American stuff. Had nothing to do with where he's from. He even says, you know, he uses his platform to promote Puerto Rico. He loves Puerto Rico. He loves America. He loves his country. Great. He's 29 years old. He's 10 years younger than I am. Great. I hardly knew anything about him other than 2 fights and that he was a YouTuber. But I agreed with his stance. I agreed with his words. I agreed with what he said, but I don't agree with him backing down for it. I think that was a really, really bad turn of face, or I'm hoping that it's a troll. Please tell me it's a troll. That would be hilarious. And what I mean by that is like, so after all this controversy and stuff, he comes out and it says Jake Paul backtracks. This is in Curveball. Jake Paul backtracks after racism controversy. See, they keep calling it racism. It wasn't racist. It wasn't intended to be racist. He was going after him for his anti-American stance and comments and stuff. People knew exactly what Jake Paul was saying, and if this ever finds its way to him, they knew what you were saying. Double down. Don't back down. Double down. They said Jake Paul backtracks after racism controversy tied to Bad Bunny. He's now calling himself the Latin Star's biggest fan. I hope that's a troll. I do. I hope that's a troll. I hope that after you do all this, I don't know, maybe this guy's got a sense of humor. After everybody comes back and they're like, "Oh, look, he capitulated. Oh, he's now Bad Bunny's biggest fan." He comes out with like some master tweet like, "Yeah, fuck off. I'm still don't like him. He's an asshole. Makes anti-American comments. He's still fake. Fuck him." Like that would be the greatest all-time troll. Like after all these articles about how he just he's now suddenly on Bad Bunny's side. Who gives a shit? I agreed with his first comments. Yeah, you want to use your platform to be anti-American? You're an asshole. Plain and simple. You're an asshole. They should have turned you halftime. Shit, shouldn't even been watching the damn football game until that whole ordeal. You remember when halftime shows were great? I was probably a kid. Couldn't wait to see halftime shows. Like the commercials. Used to love the commercials, but even they're so woke and shit. I don't even watch the shit. No one gives a shit. I'm one of them middle class American people from Appalachia that's seen all this shit, that gets called names constantly by the virtue signaling left. And I could give a shit less what they say. You guys really piss me off, and I know my few $100 spent don't hurt nothing. Like it doesn't make an effect. My $25 a case not buying Bud Light don't hurt them at all. Doesn't affect them any. But you know what it does do? My $25 a case helps a company like Yingling or a company like Roland Rock. It may not matter. It may be just not even a pin drop in the bucket, but at least I'm standing on what I believe in. This shit where they get to call you a racist and make you back down because you're a public figure. You let me get a huge following and some asshole just not like what I have to say or not like my opinion. And I'm going to tell them to pound salt in their fucking ass. Make it rock salt. Okay? And use a ball bat so you get it in there real good and it hurts. Because that's what the fuck I think. Ain't no sense of changing direction. So I'm praying this. This is like the troll of all trolls. I'm going to keep an eye out and see what happens. I'm hoping it's a troll and he's like, yeah, I only said that shit so you guys get off my back. He's still an asshole. Like, he still uses his platform to hate on America. So I think he's an asshole and I think you should boycott him. Like, that would be great. Because I honestly don't know anything about this guy. I guess he's, like I said, I guess he's a YouTuber and I guess an amateur boxer. I guess he's got a pretty impressive record. I mean, what I see, he's only lost like 2 fights out of like 13 or 14 or 15. Fuck, I don't know. That's still pretty impressive. I mean, whether he's fighting real boxers or just fighters, period. I mean, I ain't going to talk no shit, but fuck, I'm almost 40 years old. I'd be lucky to win a fight against my 14-year-old. So, I mean, there's that. you know. I just think it's really, really sad that if he backtracked, because we all know he meant his first X post, and everybody knew what he meant, but he had to clarify himself, and now they're backtrack. Please, oh, I'm just hoping it's a troll, and he's not capitulating to the left, because you know what's going to happen is he's going to if he truly is capitulating to the left and all these other people, he's going to say something else, and they're going to attack him for something else. It's never going to be enough. They're always going to back him down and back him down and back him down until he's silenced almost completely, or he changes his stance on everything, and then he's really going to lose a base. He's got a base. What's a couple 100,000 followers? Like I said, they'll be back. They're that nosy neighbor, man. They'll be back. Don't pound salt in their ass. There's the road. Like, go. And if they really got a problem with it, tell them. Let's go. Take it out in the parking lot. There's plenty of gravel for one of us to be picking out of our ass. Get after it. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous the way the left spun it. Took something where he actually, boycott it, turn it off. And the only reason they got mad about it is because if he is MAGA, sometimes we do those stupid boycotts, and it has a real effect. Like the left, they'll boycott anything. They'll boycott their own people, and it has zero effect. They're like, my favorite is watching people like on the left with their boycotts. It's like, we're not going to work. It's like, you motherfuckers don't work anyway. What the fuck are you hurting? We're just going to walk out. What are you going to do? Walk out of your mom's fucking basement? You know what? You're not going to put your own hot pocket in the microwave? Give me a fucking break, man. You guys are a bunch of fucking blowhards. But the people that actually contribute, or people like this guy, maybe, with that big of a following, may not seem like much, but 4 million people turning off the fucking halftime commercial or halftime show, that might make a big dent in viewership, Hey, this guy doesn't, he's always saying anti-American shit. Don't watch him. What's wrong with being American? What's wrong with having a position of, look, you're down talking a country that you use to platform yourself. If it's so fucking bad, find somewhere else. Like, that's not racist. That's just factual. I digress. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on the whole Jake Paul controversy thing. Don't know him. I hope it's a troll. I mean, I guess I'd have more of an opinion if I knew more about him, but I don't. I just know I think it's a bunch of shit. A guy can't even, you know. The left always have their stance out there, and it always changes. They're allowed to say it. They can call us names. They can call us racist. And the only thing you do is really take away from actual racism when everything you say is racist. You guys make no sense. Everything is twisted into a race card. If this guy's racist, I've not seen a headline one that says that other than now. Now he's a racist over a Puerto Rican. He didn't say all Puerto Ricans are fake citizens. He said this guy was basically a fake asshole that talks shit on America. Big fucking deal. Just because he happens to be from Puerto Rico. I don't give a shit. I agreed with him. I'm going to continue to agree with him. And I'm going to continue to hope that this whole calling himself the Latin Star's biggest fan is a fucking troll. And I hope he comes out sooner or later and says, yeah, all them backpedals and stuff, that was just some shit. I still don't like him. He's an asshole. That's my opinion on the Jake Paul ordeal. If you enjoyed my content, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can support my channel directly. Or you can slide over to W and put in Matt's opinion as a coupon code. Choose from 15 flavors with over 20,000 5-star reviews. And they'll support me for you supporting them. For Matt's opinion, I'm out.